Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how we can monitor our funds, basically how we can monitor the margin that has been used. Very important, especially if you're trading with low capital, you should know how much margin you should have. And based on that, we can go for our trades later on. So I'm showing you the funds. So on the left side, just below the profile, you have funds here. And these are the response attributes. Essentially, we will know how much amount we have in the equity amount as well as the commodity account. Now, since I do only F&O trading, I don't have anything in the commodity amount. I only will have in the equity amount. And the sample code is mentioned here. So again, on the right side, if you click on node, you will get the sample code, and it's a very simple code where we are using get funds. So, and this is how the result would look like. We will have the total balance, we will have the utilized amount, we will have the clear balance, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to make a little change in the code because I want to keep running it after, let's say, 5 seconds. So let me go through the code now. So this is the code, margin underscore management.js. Right at the top, I am importing the modules. Then this is the app ID. I've already done the access token in the morning, and I'm just setting up the access token. So after that, we have created two separate functions. The first function is fetch funds, in which I am using this get funds. This is the same thing which is mentioned here, FYERS.get funds, and this is what I am returning. So I'm returning this result, this response in this function. And if there's an error, obviously I am printing out the error. So essentially this is the first part, the first function, but this is my main function, which is monitor funds. So like I said, I want to monitor it after, let's say, every 5 seconds. So what I've done is I've made an interval variable of 5,000. Then I'm written a while loop. This is an infinite while loop. And what it is doing is it is going to call this function. So it's calling this function. And once it calls this function, like I said, we will get all these information. So this is how the results would look like. We will have the fund limit, and under that fund limit, we have all these different key pairs. So we are going to get the fund comma equity amount, which is this one. And similarly for commodity, we will have fund dot commodity amount. So I'm going to print them out separately. And similarly, I'm going to check how much has the amount changed, because I want to print whether there has been a change in the trading capital. And essentially I've just written a basic logic to check if there is any change. If you don't want this logic, you can just use this get fund directly. So let's run the code. I have already taken a sample trade so that I can show you the difference. So node margin management, and when we run it, this is the first time it's running. So it is telling me that my total equity is 4228. Let's check if that is right. So it's slightly changed because the market is moving, but you can see that since I've taken a trade, this is the current funds balance. So let's check it out. In the utilized amount, I have utilized 734 rupees. That's also right, because I have purchased this. This is a CNC order. So this is the total margin which has been blocked for me. This is the clear balance, which is 4225. So this is the balance which is being shown here, the funds available. My realized PNL, so what has been my net PNL for the day, so that is also being shown here. Again, this is not the final PNL. This also has the unrealized PNL, but my realized PNL is 0.8. It will also show if I have any collaterals. I already have a receivable of 731.95, which is the average price that I have bought here. And initially when I started in the morning, how much was my limit and what is the current limit. So essentially I'm getting all the information here. Now, if you see here, this is getting updated after every 5 seconds. So you can see here, after every 5 seconds, this will get updated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another buy just to show you how numbers would change. So I'm going to buy another SBIN trade here. And now you can clearly see that once I buy it, all the numbers should change. So let's see if that happens. You can see here, as soon as I purchased it, my total amount has gone down, my utilized amount has gone up, and so on and so forth. So this is how it works. Essentially, as soon as we take any trade, or we exit any trade in the front end, our results will update. And that is why we have created this kind of function, and based on this we can do our trading. So let's say you know that your current balance is about 3496 or your clearing balance is about 3493, based on that you can find out how much quantity you should be buying or selling in your strategy. Also, let's can this close out the trade. So I'm going to close out the clear positions now. So I've closed out all my positions. So obviously my funds have increased, and let's see if that happens now. So you can see here it has detected the change, and based on that it has updated the value of the funds also. So you can clearly see it's working very well. I hope this is clear how we can do margin management. Thanks for joining in, and I will see you in the next video.